Real nice pair of hamp lambs. The wether I'm starting with, I think, handles with more width and dimension. He has more spread and dimension down his top. He's wider and deeper through his loin and longer at his hind saddle. You know, on the side view profile, he's deeper in his rib, carries that width and dimension and depth back further. Really a structurally correct, stylish lamb. Really lots of balance and eye appeal. Lamb in second is certainly a really clean, fresh, firm, hard handling lamb. Really a high cutability lamb. Lamb has a lot of muscle tone. Really is going to is not nearly as far along in the game, but the young lady's done a really good job keeping him lean and fresh, or keeping her lean and fresh and toned. Just doesn't quite have the overall mass and power that we found in the class winner. Nice pair. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Reagan Clark, and second in the class to Caitlin Goodwin. Now ready to enter the arena with class number 29. Class 29 should have 4 entries in the class, one being shown by Jalen Goodwin, an entry by Liam Conley, an entry by Braden Bailey, and an entry by Reese Oliver. These lambs range in a weight from 122 to 130. Once again, 4 entries in the class being shown by Jalen Goodwin, Liam Conley, Braden Bailey, and Reese Oliver. Weights ranging from 122 to 130 pounds. 4 entries in the class, and the class is complete. Check.
Obviously, for me, is pretty close. Young ladies Lana starts the class, I think wins pretty handily. Just a really, really good pattern, structurally correct lamb. Really, really the soundest made, most correctly patterned lamb from front to rear and from ground up. Just really, really good angle to the shoulder, just perpendicular in its top line, really good in the hip and hind leg. Still handles with the greatest amount of red meat and muscle expression and dimensionality that we find in the class. Second and third get to be a good deal closer. The young man's lamb in second, I think, is a longer-bodied, more extended lamb, handles with more length of loin and length of hind saddle. I'd like to level him out in his top line just a little bit and make him leveler in his hip, but he's just so much longer-bodied and more extended and has more mass than the ewe lamb in third. The ewe lamb in third is a fresher, leaner, more youthful juvenile ewe. She gets to be higher in her loin. The ewe that has a really a tremendous amount of muscle tone and topside bulge. I just like to relax her and lay her back in her shoulder a little bit, make her easier going both ends. And the young man that rounds out the class has really the big framed lamb, really long bodied and extended, really long fronted, just gets to be the shallower bodied, lighter muscled lamb of the quartet. But really a nice set. Congratulations to these four exhibitors.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Reese Oliver. Second in the class to Braden Bailey. Third to Jalen Goodwin. And fourth to Liam Conley. We now have our third class, class number 30, our third class of Hampshire market lambs. We have 3 entries in the class, ranging from 133 to 142 pounds. 3 entries in the class, and your class is complete. Immediately following this class, we will be coming back to show for champion and reserve champion Hampshire market lambs. So I need first and second from class 28, first and second from class 29. We need you on standby, please.
We end up with a real nice trio, but of vastly different lambs. The wether that starts the class, I think, is the combination lamb. He's the structurally correct, naturally thick-made, meaty lamb. He handles with more width and dimension down his top. He's deeper and wider in his loin. Really a firm, hard, fresh handling lamb. Just overpowers the lambs in second and third. The lamb in second more closely follows the pattern of the class winner. He's the big framed, level designed, structurally correct, stylish, eye-appealing lamb, but he gets to be flatter muscle than either of the lambs on either side of him. The young lady in third has a really good handling lamb, really a deep rib lamb, lots of muscle expression, but he gets to be a little more compact in his size, a little higher in his loin, a little round out over his hip and hind leg. Just doesn't quite have the overall style and balance that we found in the top pair. Really nice trio. Congratulations to these three exhibitors.
Congratulations, class number 30. Winner goes to Emma Hacker. Second in the class, Colton Stockstill. And third in the class to Kyle Vinsel. We are now ready to show for champion Hampshire Market Lamb. From class number 28, I have Reagan Clark. From class 29, Braden Bailey. And from class number 30, Emma Hacker. Standing in second in class 28, I have Caitlin Goodwin. Standing in second, class 29, have Braden Bailey. And standing second, class number 30, I have Colton Stokestill. Now showing for champion and reserve champion Hampshire Market Lamb. While I've got just a second, I would like to welcome and thank our judge today for coming to judge our show. We have Mr. Ken Culp from Nickelville, Kentucky. He was a 10-year 4-H'er. He was a 5-year FFA member. He was on the 1978 Purdue Livestock judging team that won the national competition. Ken has judged 15 states and has also judged shows in Canada. Let's put our hands together and thank Ken for coming and spending the evening with us.
Thank you. Selecting your champion Hampshire here presents some challenges because the way they look and the way they handle are two different things. And so that makes it a little more challenging. The champion is going to be the middleweight, thick, meaty, heavy muscled lamb. Wish he was just a little firmer handle. And the lamb that looks the most like him is the lightweight, but the lamb that handles the best is the heavyweight. And I try to use the good handling ones. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your champion Hampshire Market Lamb goes to Reese Oliver. And also congratulations, your reserve champion goes to Emma Hacker. Let's put our hands together for all these young exhibitors. We are now ready for class 31. Class 31, our Cathodon Market Lambs. There will be two classes of Cathodons, I'm sorry. First class will have 2 entries being shown by Audrey Bullman and an entry by Kendall Zeich. These lambs weigh 54 and 70 pounds. 2 entries in the class, and your class is complete.
Right here. Okay, we start out our Cathodon class with just a pair, and there's a lot of weight spread here, 54 and 70 pounds, so there's a good deal of weight spread. I'm going to use the fawn-colored lamb. Really the long spine, level top lamb, further along in its condition, more total muscle expression, but yet straighter and stronger off of its hind wheels. The young lady's darker colored lamb here in second, certainly a more youthful, juvenile, later maturing lamb. This isn't nearly as far along today. Congratulations to both these young ladies.
Congratulations, your class winner of class number 31, Kendall Zeich, and second in class to Audrey Bullman. We now have our second class of Katahdin Market Lambs in the arena. Have 2 entries in the class being shown by Cheyenne Lions and a second entry by Cheyenne Lions. 2 entries in the class, weights of 91 and 93 pounds.
Nice pair here in our heavyweight class, our spotted up lambs. The lamb I'm going to start with is the thicker, meatier handling lamb, handles with more width and depth to its loin. He's a deeper ribbed, higher volume lamb. Lamb in second is a longer bodied lamb and has more length of its loin. It's leaner in its condition, higher cutability. We'll see them both out here for champion in just a moment.
Congratulations. Class 32 winner goes to Cheyenne Lions. Second in the class to Cheyenne Lions. We can now bring back first from class 31, Kendall Zeich. And second from class 31, Audrey Bullman. Now showing for champion and reserve champion, Katahdin Market Lamb.
This is actually a really nice quartet of Katahdin Market lambs. Actually, probably the 4 best ones I've seen in a long time. This is a breed that is quite different than wool sheep, but these lambs are all heavier muscled, heavier bone lambs that have more carcass potential. I'm going to use for champion and reserve the heavyweights and the reserve. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your champion Katahdin Market Lamb goes to Cheyenne Lions, and your reserve champion also goes to Cheyenne Lions. Now entering the arena, we have our natural colored market lambs. We have 2 entries in the class, one being shown by Leah Stengel, one by Henley Hill. 2 entries in the class, weights of 86 and 98 pounds, and your class is complete.
Nice pair of natural colors here. The young lady's white weather that we're starting with is certainly the meatiest lamb. He's the handled with the most width and dimension down his top. He's wider and deeper through his loin. He's square out over his hip and straighter in his hind leg. Deeper rib. There's just more mass and meat animal shape in this lamb. The lamb in second, the dark fleece lamb. The ewe lamb is certainly a long-bodied extended ewe. Really a leaner, cleaner condition. She's firmer and fresher in her handle, but doesn't have the overall muscle expression and dimensionality that we found in our class winner. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Class winner goes to Henley Hill. And second class, Leah Stengel. We now have in the arena class number 34, class 34. 2 entries in the class being shown by Hayden Stevens and an entry by Kinley Ball. 2 entries in the class with weights of 116 and 147 pounds. 2 entries in the class. Immediately after this class, we will be coming back and showing for champion, reserve champion, natural market lamb.
This is a pretty tough pair because of the huge weight range in this class. The dark fleeced ewe I'm going to start with has the most, or excuse me, Weather has the most top side bulge. He has the most tone and muscle expression down his top, particularly right in behind his shoulder. And he also has the advantage of being longer in his loin, which is really something considering the weight range. He's also leveler at his dock and square out over his hind leg. The lamb in second is a really good lamb, and this young lady has done a tremendous job of keeping him fresh and firm and toned for this age. You've done an outstanding job of keeping a big heavyweight lamb as fresh and firm as he is. He gets to be a little shorter in his loin, a little shorter in his hind saddle, doesn't quite have the overall straightness and squareness from hock to ground that we found up further, nor does he have the topside bulge right behind his shoulder, but a really, really nice super heavyweight market lamb. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Class 34 winner goes to Hayden Stevens. And second class to Kinley Ball. We are now ready to show for champion and reserve champion natural colored market lambs. From class 33, we have Henley Langley. From class 34, we have Hayden Stevens. Coming in behind them, from class 33 and second, we have Leah Stengel. And from class 34, Kinley Ball. Congratulations. Your champion natural colored market lamb goes to Hayden Stevens, and your reserve champion to Henley Hill. We're now ready to enter the arena. Class 35. We have a single class of Oxford market lambs. Class 35 has 2 entries. 1 entry being shown by Samuel Baines, 1 by Carly Naylor. These lambs weigh 137 and 140 pounds.
This is the best pair of Oxford lambs I've seen in 5 years, maybe longer. Let's give both exhibitors a nice hand. Really nice set. The young man's wether that we start with is certainly the really expressively muscled wether. He handles with the most muscle tone and topside bulge from front to rear. He's deeper and wider in his loin. You get your hands on his leg and he's just as hard as a rock. Really a firm, fresh handling lamb. Handles with more, he's also straighter and stronger in his top line, really stylish and balanced. Young lady's lamb in second is no slouch. He's a longer necked, longer fronted, smoother shouldered lamb. Doesn't get to be quite as strong right in the center of his body. He's not quite as extremely toned as the lamb that wins the class, but he'd win a lot of shows. He's a good lamb. Just got stuck in a buzzsaw of a class of only 2, but congratulations on your reserve champion.
Congratulations, your class winner and your champion Oxford market lamb goes to Samuel Baines. Second to class and your reserve champion Oxford market lamb goes to Carly Naylor. Now entering the arena, we have class 36 Shropshire market lamb. We will have 2 classes of the Shropshires. This first class has 2 entries being shown by Braden Bailey and 1 by Reagan Clark. These lambs weigh 100 and 111 pounds.
Well, this is pretty tough. I'd be first to admit that when you first look at him, you like the weather, but boy, you get your hands on him, and that ewe's pretty hard to beat. She's really the firm, fresh, hard-handling ewe. She handles with more topside bulge. She's wider handling down her top. She's wider and deeper in her loin, and she has more muscle expression in the center and lower portions of her leg. She's not as big or as stout as the weather stands behind her, but boy, she's a good one. Now, the young lady's weather, certainly the big-framed, structurally correct, stylish lamb. Like to make him stronger in his top line, and just like to make him firmer and harder on his handle. Really, really nice lamb. Just got caught behind a really, really good handling one. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Braden Bailey. And second in class to Reagan Clark. Now ready to enter the arena with our second class of Shropshire Market Lambs. We have 2 entries in the class, one being shown by Reese Oliver, and the second being shown by Leah Stengel. 2 entries in the class. The lambs weigh 140 and 151 pounds. 2 entries in the class, and your class is complete. Immediately after this class, we'll be coming back to show for champion and reserve champion Shropshire Market Lambs.
Real nice pair of heavyweight Shrops here to finish out our class. The lamb that wins, the 140-pounder, is the thicker, meatier, heavier muscled lamb. Handles with more width and dimension down its top. Handles with more width and depth and length to its loin. It's tremendously hard and firm in its leg, and is plumper and fuller in all portions of its leg, and wraps more muscle around its forearm. In addition to that, when you get on the side view profile, really the straight line, stylish, well-balanced lamb. Lamb in second is a bigger framed, longer bodied, a longer profiled lamb, really a deep bodied lamb. Just doesn't quite have the overall muscle expression that we found in our class winner. Congratulations to both these young ladies.
Congratulations, your class winner of class 37 goes to Reese Oliver, and second in class to Leah Stengel. We are now ready to show class 38. Reese also will be your champion Shropshire Market Lamb. And also, congratulations, Leah Stengel will be your reserve champion. My apologies, I stepped ahead of myself. I apologize. Congratulations, your champion Shropshire Market Lamb, Reese Oliver, and your reserve champion also goes to Braden Bailey. We now have in the arena our first class of Southdown Market Lambs. Our first class of Southdowns. We have 2 entries in the class, being shown by Josie Jones and an entry by Owen Hutchinson. These lambs weigh 108 and 116 pounds. Our first class of Southdown Market Lambs.
Start out with a nice pair of Southdown Market lambs. Young ladies' lamb's going to win the class. Certainly the firm, fresh, hard-handling lamb with the most carcass merit and potential. That lamb was going to break open a bigger lamb chop, bigger ribeye, handles with more thickness and dimension, has more shape and expression through its stifle and down through its leg. Lamb in second is certainly a really long-bodied lamb. Not quite as firm and fresh in its handle. Doesn't fill my hands with as much muscle expression, but a really, really nice pair of lightweight lambs.
Congratulations, class winner goes to Josie Jones, and second to class to Owen Hutchinson. Now entering the arena, we have class 39, a class of 2 Southdown lambs. 2 entries being shown by Braden Hudoff and Carly Naylor. These lambs weigh 120 and 126 pounds. 2 entries in the class. Your class is complete. And immediately following this class, we'll be showing for our champion and reserve champion Southdown Market Lamb.
Another nice pair of lambs. The young lady's lamb that starts the class, I think, wins so really handily. You get right on top of this lamb, and it just has more width and dimension down its top, more natural thickness from front to rear and from top to bottom. Handles with more depth of loin. Get behind him and just fills your hands with more plumpness and fullness through all portions of its leg. Wraps more muscle around its forearm. Just a big scout, big skeleton, big cage lamb. Lamb in second. It's to be a little softer in its handle. Doesn't quite have the overall muscle expression, but a really stylish, structurally correct lamb. Fits really nicely the second hole. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Carly Naylor, and second to class to Braden Hudoff. We will now come back with our class winner from class 38, Josie Jones. From class 39, Carly Naylor. And second place from class 38, Owen Hutchinson. And second place from class 39, Braden Hudoff. We are showing for champion and reserve champion Southdown Market Lamb. Congratulations to Carly Naylor, your champion Southdown Market Lamb, and reserve champion goes to Josie Jones. Now ready to enter the arena with class number 40. Class number 40, this will be a single class of your Suffolk. We will have 3 entries in the class. 3 entries in the class being shown by Leona Fair, Bailey Hutchinson, and Owen Hutchinson. 3 entries in the class. Weights ranging from 103 to 120 pounds. And your class is complete.
this trio of Suffolks, I'm elected to use a young lady's lamb to start the class with. She's the bigger top ewe that handles with more thickness and muscle expression. She's deeper sided. I think she'll hang up a carcass with more quality and more product. In second, I'm going to use a young lady's wether, really a good, firm, fresh, hard handling wether. The leanest of the trio, just like to make him more relaxed in his top line leveler, and from front to rear. But when you get behind him, he really has the most plumpness and fullness and expression to his stifle. Young man's ewe that winds out the class, again, a real lean, hard, fresh handling lamb. Just gets to be a little lighter muscled, a little narrower based. It doesn't have the overall carcass quality that we found in the top pair.
Congratulations, class winner, and your champion Suffolk Market Lamb goes to Bailey Hutchinson. Second in class and reserve champion Leona Fair. And third in the class to Owen Hutchinson, I apologize, Owen Hutchinson. We're now ready for class number 41, class 41. Our first class of black-faced commercial market lambs. We have 5 entries in the class, being shown by Reagan Connard, Leona Fair, Garrett Goodwin, Adeline Allman, and Megan Wilson. 5 entries in the class with weights ranging from 100 to 108 pounds. And your class is complete.
more challenging class here as we start our blackface cross, but the best handling lamb wins the class. This lamb is by far the longest in its loin. It's the firmest and the freshest in its handle, has the most muscle tone. This lamb's going to have the most carcass merit. Now, I'd be the first to admit that I'd like to change its profile. I'd like to relax its loin, make him more level. This is the best look we've had right now. Just your lamb needs to calm down and chill out. That would help. Young lady in second has a really good patterned lamb. Her lamb is calmer, all right? Leveler top, squarer made, wider based, heavier muscled, heavier bone, but just doesn't have the length of loin. It's more compact than it's designed. It's not as long loin, nor as firm and fresh in its handle. The next pair is close. I've elected to use the young man's ewe lamb because she's thicker, meatier, heavier muscle. She's heavier bone, heavier skeleton. She'll go to the rail and hang up the higher quality carcass. Next young lady has a really good patterned lamb. Really like the overall design and style and balance of this lamb. Just need to add more muscle expression. We wind out the class with another good patterned lamb. Really, really good in its top line. This lamb gets to be more upright and perpendicular in its shoulder. Gets to be a little shallower in its body. Consequently, it gets to be a little lighter muscle. But there's a very attractive, very well-presented lamb with lots of style and balance and symmetry. Really good set of lambs. My congratulations to these 5 exhibitors.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Leona Fair. Second in the class, Reagan Connor. Third in the class to Garrett Goodwin. Fourth to Megan Wilson. And fifth to Adeline Ullman. We now have entering the arena class number 42. We have 6 entries in the class being shown by Orrin Eganoff, Miley Burks, Reagan Clark, Adeline Ham, Kyle Vinsel, and Leah Stangl. 6 entries in the class ranging from 115 to 120 pounds, and your class is complete.
Really nice class here. Top pair is really close. The young lady's lamb, the whether I start with, I really like the style, the balance, the structural correctness. He's the big-footed, heavy structured, heavy skeleton sheep, really thick-made, heavy muscled, really, really meaty. The lamb in second is by far the best handling lamb. Thick is certainly firmer, fresher, harder, handles more topside bulge. There's more width and dimension down its top, more width to its loin, but he gets to be a little shorter coupled and doesn't quite have the overall style and balance and look that we found in the class winner. Young lady's lamb in third, follows the pattern of the class winner, but gets to be a little softer in its top, doesn't have the overall muscle expression or the powerful handle that we found in the top pair. Really nice lamb here in fourth, just got caught in a really, really tough class. There's a stylish, eye-appealing, structurally correct lamb. Like to make it a little deeper bodied, a little more powerful, a little heavier muscle. The really thick, meaty lamb is the dark fleece lamb here in fifth. She gets this to be a little smaller frame, a little more compact for me. Just like to make her longer strided, bigger in her overall profile, but you really like the overall width of base and width of handle. Young man that wins out the class has a real big framed, long bodied sheep, handles with a lot of length through its loin and hind saddle, but it's the lightest, flattest muscled, most angular lamb that'll go to the rail, hanging up a carcass with the least muscle or carcass quality. Congratulations to these 6 exhibitors.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Adeline Ham. Second in class, Leah Stengel. Third, Reagan Clark. Fourth, to Miley Burks. Fifth, to Kyle Minsel. And sixth, to Orrin Eganol. We now have class 43 entering the arena. We have 6 entries in the class being shown by Madison Burks, Josie Jones, Brantley Plunkett, Brantley Plunkett, Brian Conley, Josie Baines, and Cruz Redden. 6 entries in the class ranging from 122 to 133 pounds.
Really an outstanding class here. Really 3 good sheep on the top end. Young ladies, whether wins the class, I think works his way to the top pretty handily. He's the real combination lamb. Combines structural correctness, style, balance, eye appeal, along with a tremendous handle. Just a really firm, fresh, lean, hard handling lamb. Lots of muscle tone. Tremendous top side bulge, really a long loin lamb, just stretched exceptionally well presented. He wins pretty handily. The ewe lamb in second just slides into second hole just really, really nicely. Second best handling lamb in the class. Not the extreme size that we found in the class winner, but really a thick-made, meaty ewe. Just like to relax a little bit in her loin and make her a little nearly level out over her dock as she gets out and moves. The third ewe is really, really nice. Longer bodied, more extended, really, really fresh and clean in its handle, really firm, gonna hang up a really high quality, high cutability carcass. Just doesn't quite have the overall expression of muscle that we found in the class winner. Like to make her just a little bit longer loin and just a little bit higher and wider right here at the dock, but she's really nice. The young lady with the lamb here in fourth, you got a good lamb. That's the best fourth place lamb we've had today. Just again, a lamb with tremendous width and dimension, gonna hang up a really, really high quality carcass. Just doesn't quite have as much style and balance. Lamb needs to be sheared just a little bit tighter. Then coming down here, this young man's got a really good lamb. It's got a little more pelt. And he can't help that. This lamb just was born that way. But there's a really good pattern lamb, really level its top, really square over its hip, really good in its feet and legs. Just doesn't handle with as much firmness or freshness or as much extreme muscle pattern or muscle expression as we found out further. And the young man here winding out the class with the weather, you've got a really long-bodied weather, handles with probably as much length of hind saddle as anything we've had. That's a real lean, high cutability lamb. Just gets to be a little shallower bodied. It doesn't have as much muscle expression as we found out further. But a really, really, the 6 really high quality lambs. Let's give these exhibitors all a nice hand. Good class.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Josie Baines. Second to Cruz Red. Third, Josie Jones. Fourth to Madison Burks. Fifth to Brantley Plunkett. And sixth to Brian Conley. We now have Class 44 coming into the arena. We have 6 entries in the class being shown by Emma Hacker, Marin Conley, Reese Oliver, Colton Stogstill, Taylon Ham, and Hayden Stevens. 6 entries in the class ranging from 135 to 146 pounds. And your class is complete.
really nice class. The lamb that wins, I think, does so pretty handily. Really a tremendously well-presented lamb, really highly fit. You get your hands on this lamb, and there's just more meat and muscle shape in this lamb than in any of the rest of them. Just a really thick, meaty, heavy muscled lamb. Still handles with a lot of freshness and firmness. Tremendous muscle tone. Wraps a lot of meat around his forearm. Has a lot of pop to its stifle. Just really, really a stylish, eye-appealing show lamb. Gets to be quite a bit closer to me for second and third. In second, I'd be the first to admit, that lamb more closely follows a type and pattern of the class winner. More moderate framed, really a big topped, square made lamb. Probably has the advantage of maybe being a little more structurally correct, particularly hind leg, than the class winner. But doesn't quite have the firmness and freshness of handle that we found in lamb in third. Lamb in third, young lady does a tremendously good job on this lamb. Really a stylish, eye-appealing lamb, a little bigger frame, really good in its top line, has a little more set to its hind leg, still fairly fresh in its handle, doesn't quite have just as much power in its stifle as we found in the front two, but there's a really, really good lamb. You've done a good job with it. Next young lady in fourth does a really, really good job. You could show lambs all day long. Just perfectly level in its top line, really good in its feet and legs, but you get your hands on this lamb when you get behind him, and the lamb becomes a little flatter, a little more angular, doesn't quite have the overall muscle shape and dimension and flare that we found up further. Then we have a pair of bigger framed lambs. The young man's lamb is a thicker, meatier, heavier muscled lamb than the one that runs out the class, but a lamb is a little harder to show, harder to get your hands on, just doesn't give me as good a look, tends to be a little rounded out over its hip. And the young lady here rounding out the class, lamb that's a little narrower based, flatter muscled, again a real high quality lamb, just doesn't have the power and dimensionality to compete in the top four. Congratulations to these exhibitors, really good class.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Reese Oliver. Second to class, Taylor Ham. Third to Hayden Stevens. Fourth to Colton Stogstel. Fifth to Emma Hacker. And sixth to Marin Conley. We now have class 45 entering the arena. We have 4 entries in the class being shown by Henley Hill, Braden Bailey, Brantley Plunkett, and Jalen Goodwin. 4 entries in the class ranging from 149 to 165 pounds. The class is complete. I do need to make sure we have our first and second place animals from class 41, 42, 43, and 44. You need to be in the makeup arena because immediately following this class, we'll be coming back to show for champion and reserve champion blackface market lambs.
Really nice quartet here to finish up our blackface cross. lamb that wins the class does so, I think, pretty handily. Just a real three-dimensional functional lamb, really exceptionally well presented. There's a really structurally correct, stylish, eye-appealing lamb that handles with the most natural width and dimension. You're going to hang this lamb on the rail, and it's going to go to the rail and hang up the most saleable product. There's a real firm, fresh, hard-handling lamb, real lean in its condition. I think he wins pretty handily. And lambs in second and third get to be a good deal closer for me. I'll be the first to admit that I like the overall style and balance and structure of the lamb in third, and that's a really good handling lamb. The lamb in third weighs 165 pounds, and I have never handled 160, just wait a minute, I'm not done. I've never handled a 165-pounder that was as firm and fresh and hard as that lamb. You've done a tremendous job with that. But the ewe lamb in second has just got more muscle. She ties more muscle onto her top. She handles with more width and depth to her loin. She just ties more muscle expression and dimension to all portions of her leg and hind saddle. There's just more meat animal product in this lamb. And she's still a firm lamb with lots and lots of muscle tone. I just like to kind of put them both together. Nice job. And the young man here in fourth got caught in a really tough class. There's a really good patterned lamb. This is a really long structured lamb, really level and square in its top, really good in its hind leg. Just doesn't overwhelm you in terms of meat animal shape that we found in the top three, but that's a really good lamb. Let's give these four exhibitors a nice hand. Good job.
Congratulations, your class winner goes to Henley Hill. Second in the class to Braden Bailey. Third to Jalen Goodwin. And fourth to Brantley Plunkett. We now come back in to show for champion black-faced market lamb. From that class 41, standing in first, Leona Fair. From class 42, Adeline Ham. From class 43, Josie Baines. From class 44, Reese Oliver. And from that last class, class 45, Henley Hill. From class 41, standing in second, we had Reagan Connard. From class 42 in second, Leah Stengel. From class 43 in second, Cruz Redden. From class 44 in second, Taylon Ham. And from class 45 in second place, Braden Bailey. We're now showing for champion black-faced market lamb and then reserve champion black-faced market lamb. Congratulations, your champion black-faced market lamb goes to Reese Oliver. Congratulations, your reserve champion, black-faced market lamb, goes to Henley Hill. We are now ready to show for class number 46, our first class of white-faced commercial market lambs. We have 2 entries in the class. We have an entry by Josie Jones, and I need Brendan Conley. That one will be a scratch, sir. So you've got a single entry here.
Single entry to start with, 88-pounder, obviously a really green, clean conditioned, high cutability lamb, lots of muscle shape and definition. Like to make her just a little bit higher at her dock, a little square out over her hip. But there's a really, really nice ewe lamb with lots and lots of meat animal shape. We'll see her back here in a moment for champion.
My apologies, I had scratched the wrong class. So now we're class 47. We will have 2 entries in that class. First entry being shown by Brendan Conley, and the other entry by Orrin Aguinall. These lambs weigh 134 and 135 pounds, 2 entries in the class. Immediately following this class, we'll be showing for champion and reserve champion white-faced commercial lamb.
All right, we end up with a nice pair of white-faced cross lambs. Lamb here closest to the mounter stand is going to win the class. Certainly the real thick, meaty, heavy muscled lamb. Lamb handles more width and dimension down its top. More plumpness and fullness to all portions of his leg. They're just more red meat in this lamb. Gets to be wider at over its top. Like to make that lamb a little higher at its dock. The lamb in second is certainly a smoother fronted, flatter shouldered lamb. Just gets to be a narrower base, flatter muscled lamb, but really two nice white-faced cross lambs to end up our class with today. Congratulations, these young men.
We are now showing for your champion and reserve champion white-faced commercial market lamb. From that class 46, our first placed animal was Josie Jones. From class 47, our first placed animal, Brendan Conley. And standing behind Brendan in class 47 and second is Oren Eganoff.
Only 3 lambs here in our white-faced cross, but really 3 really nice lambs. The champion will be the heavyweight. He's certainly the most kill ready, harvest ready in his condition. Really structurally correct, square level dock weather with lots and lots of muscle. Handles with a lot of top side bulge and a lot of muscle tone. For reserve, we'll use the lightweight lamb. Certainly like this lamb to be a little further along, but she's a real lean, clean condition, more expressively muscled lamb that is the second place heavyweight. Congratulations to both these exhibitors.
Congratulations to Brendan Conley with your champion white-faced commercial, and your reserve champion, congratulations, goes to Josie Jones. We are now ready to go right into our grand champion market lamb drive. We will be placing the top 5 animals. Our champion Dorset coming in. No problem. We're now introducing our grand drive. Our champion Dorset, we have Leah Stangl. Our champion Hampshire, Reese Oliver. Our champion Katahdin, Cheyenne Lyons. Our champion Natural Color, Hayden Stevens. Our champion Oxford, Samuel Baines. Our champion Shropshire, Reese Oliver. Our champion Southdown, Carly Naylor. Our champion Suffolk, Maylee Hutchinson. Our champion Blackface, Reese Oliver. And our champion Whiteface, Brendan Conley. Standing behind them in each of the breeds are reserve Dorset, Houston McLean. Reserve champion Hampshire, Emma Hacker. Our reserve champion Katahdin, Cheyenne Lyons. Our reserve champion Natural Color, Henley Hill. Our reserve champion Oxford, Carly Naylor. Our reserve champion Shropshire, Braden Bailey. Our reserve champion Southdown, Josie Jones. Our reserve champion Suffolk, Leona Fair. Our reserve champion Blackface, Henley Hill. And a reserve champion Whiteface, Josie Jones. Will be showing for champion and reserve champion Market Lamb 2025.
Let's give all these exhibitors a nice hand. Really an outstanding show tonight. The quality of the lambs is tremendous. The showmen have done an outstanding job. And I have to say, and I've been judging I've been judging livestock since before most of your parents were born, starting in 1978. That's before you were born, long time. And this is the best run lamb show I've ever officiated. So congratulations to all the folks that put this on. I grew up the road, north of the other university in Jasper County. I coached the judging team at Purdue 3 times, and then I ventured to Ohio State and went down to the University of Kentucky and worked with animal science projects and volunteer development. And what we're really doing tonight, and I love the livestock, but what we're really doing is developing leaders tomorrow, today. And whatever their hook is, the project is not what's important. The kid is what's important. But the project is the hook and gets them involved. And if we don't get them involved in something they like, then we don't get them involved at all. So when my kids were first born, I asked a person for some parenting advice, and she told me, find something that interests your child and push them as far as your pocketbook and your budget and your time will allow. And I think we tried to do that, and I'm sure that all of you are doing that. So when you leave tonight, doesn't matter where you placed, be sure to thank your parents, because if it wasn't for your parents, you probably wouldn't be here. So this has been a good opportunity for me. Honestly, it's my first trip to Bloomington. We were told never to go to Bloomington, see? Anyway, it's been a good experience. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Reese Oliver, your grand champion. Bain had one. Grand champion to Reese Oliver. Reserve grand to Reese Oliver. Hey, Tanner. Congratulations to all of our showmen tonight on the Grand Drive. Your grand champion 2025 goes to Reese Oliver. Your reserve grand champion goes to Reese Oliver. And start over. Your grand champion goes to Reese Oliver with her black-faced champion. Reserve grand champion goes to Reese Oliver with her Shropshire. Third overall with his Oxford goes to Samuel Baines. Fourth overall with her black-faced Henley Hill. And fifth overall with her Hampshire, Reese Oliver. Put our hands together for all these young people. They've done a great job. We are going to have about 10 minutes to get pictures. About 10 minutes to get pictures, and then we'll jump right back into showmanship. We'll be starting with our first year showman. Our first year showman is where we will start. Class number 49 have Hayden Stevens, Leona Fair, Houston McLean, and Adeline Ullman. 4 entries in the first class. Showing our first class of first-year showmen. Our judge is welcome to keep one or all, or if he is to his liking, what he would like to do. We're going to keep the 2 on each end. We'll keep the one on each end, one on this end and one on the other end. The others are excused. We will come back in with our next class, and he will decide what he would like to keep there. The keepers from this class were Hayden Stevens and Houston McLean. We are now ready for class number 50. Class number 50. We will have 5 entries in the class. We have Brantley Plunkett, Audrey Bullman, Kyle Bensel, Addison Bueller, and Cruz Redden. 5 entries in the class. Excuse me, we have a scratch. We have 4 in the class. The young girl in the black on the other side and the young man in the blue here in the 3rd spot, you will be saved back. Stay in the arena. The other 2 will be excused, please. So we're saving Addison Bueller and Cruz Redden. We will now be showing for champion and reserve champion first-year showman. From that first class, we have Hayden Stevens and Houston McLean. And from class number 50, we have Addison Bueller and Cruz Redden. Competing for champion and reserve champion first-year showman.
Okay, these are the four finalists in beginner showman what? First year. All right. And so first year can be any age. It's just the first year you've shown lambs. So let's give these four a nice hand. Okay, young lady in this end does a really nice job. Right now, your front legs are not set up. That'd be a good time to do it. Yeah. She does a good job. Really, really good eye contact. I wish you had different shoes on. I personally don't like kids showing in tennis shoes. That's just my thing. We show cattle. You do not wear tennis shoes when you show cattle. The concept is the same. You know, a little 80-pound kid and a 140-pound lamb, the same thing. She's out here in the finals. That's my deal. All right. Next young man does a nice job. He made that his heat because he gave me by far the best answer to the question. I ask all the kids what they feed their lambs. All right. So there's really three things. I want to know the brand. I want to know what % protein it is. And I want to know how much you feed it. And 3 scoops is not an acceptable answer. Scoops can be any size. I mean, I don't know if that means 3 pounds or 30 pounds. Right? He knew the most about what he's feeding his lambs. I am confident that he's the one that does chores at home. All right? So that's why he made it out of his heat. Are you the best showman out here in terms of pure showmanship skills? No, but you are the most knowledgeable, and I like smart kids. All right. Next young man does a really good job. He gets a good brace on this lamb. He keeps the head up. He maintains really good eye contact. He's got it going on. Does a nice job. Next young lady, again, the one thing, again, you've got tennis shoes on. I didn't kill you for that, but I wish you had different foot apparel. All right. She's dressed for the show. There's some debate about whether you should always wear long sleeve shirts or short sleeve shirts. I'd be the first to tell you I would wear a short sleeve shirt today, but my arms are covered in poison ivy and it's gross. So I wore a long sleeve shirt because I didn't want to subject any of you to that. So whatever, it's been warm enough. I'm not really going to count that against you. She gave me really, really good answers to the questions, second best answers to the questions. She's really got good eye contact. She's older, she's bigger, so she's got more leverage over that lamb. But, you know, that's kind of the way it's going on. So anyway, I have lined these lambs up from first to last with first at this end. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Hayden Stevens, your first-year champion showman. And your reserve champion goes to Cruz Redden, reserve champion first-year showman. We now entering the arena, our first class of junior showmen, grades 3 through 5. I have 4 entries in the class, being shown by Leah Stengel, Leona Fair, Brantley Plunkett, and McCoy Vinsel. 4 entries in the class. We will keep back McCoy Vinsel and Leah Stengel. Your other two are excused. You can all come out at this time. Now entering the arena, class number 52. We have 4 entries in the class, being shown by Brendan Conley, Cruz Redden, Reagan Connard, and Addison Bueller. Only 3 entries in the class. Bring the other 2 back in. McCoy and Leah, come on in.
Okay, let's have a nice hand for these 5. Okay, here's a clue. So, in showmanship, a judge sometimes asks what you like best about your animal. What you like best, or what you'd like to change, or something like that. Okay. Now, you expect different answers for different ages. You know, as the kid gets older, they should be more technical and more complex. Okay. What they don't want to hear is that they have nicer wool or they have a nice personality. I mean, we want to know something anatomical, something conformational, structural. That would be a good place to start. Okay. These 5 kids have all done a really, really nice job. A little difference right now. 4 of them are lined up really, really well. They give me a good look. I've asked all of them some questions. We've got different levels of experience. Some are using halters, some are not using halters. As they get older, that becomes a crutch that we don't have to use, but at this stage it's fine. Our reserve champion is going to be the young lady here with the green shirt. This young man's going to be champion. Congratulations.
Congratulations, your champion junior showman goes to Cruz Redden, and your reserve champion to Leah Stengel. We are going to put classes 53 and 54 together. Our intermediates, grades 6 through 8, you will all show together. And I will say I will make the decision. We'll also do the same in senior. So our intermediates, we have 10 entries. Those entries being shown by Houston McLean, Henley Hill, Caitlin Goodwin, Reagan Clark, Owen Hutchinson, Oren Eganoff, Braden Hudoff, Kenley Ball, and Emma Hacker, and Miley Burks. Ten entries in the class, and your class should be complete. I do want to apologize. I've overlooked our sponsors tonight. I have slipped up a little bit, and I apologize for that. Our gold sponsors this year are Clark Landscaping Incorporated, Hollers Welding, Picket Fence Real Estate, Miss Amber Zeig, Naylor Trucking, LLC, Marge Bueller, in memory of Rick Bueller, Stock Signs and Designs, Kimbry Robeson, 6120 Candles, and our silver sponsors include R.H. Marlin Excavating, B.J. McElroy, Hall's Greenhouse, C&H Lawn and Landscaping. Leaders also like to say a big thank you to Richard Hall for assisting with tag-ins and flowers, and also to Rhea Hollers for being the barn mom.
Well, in addition to the usual repertoire of questions, I ask all these exhibitors 2 anatomical questions, which I think in showing lambs, it's fundamentally important. I ask all of them where the loin is, and I had 2 correct answers. And I asked them where the stifle was, the quadriceps, the largest muscle in the body, and I had 1 correct answer. So that didn't help very much. Right, so the 3 ladies out here are doing an outstanding job, and I would not have thought that it might work out exactly this way, but I have got them lined up: champion, reserve, and third.
Congratulations, your champion intermediate goes to Henley Hill, and your reserve champion to Reagan Clark. Let's put our hands together for those young people. One more class. We're going to do seniors together, yes. We're now ready for our senior showman. Senior showman, grades 9 through 12. Should have 10 entries in the class. 10 entries in the class. Our senior showman. Our entries are Adeline Ullman, Hayden Stevens, Carly Naylor, Josie Jones, Madison Burks, Jalen Goodwin, Reese Oliver, Bailey Hutchinson, Josie Baines, and Sam Baines. Showing for Senior Showmanship 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I think we need to show our appreciation to Mr. Ken Culp. Put our hands together. He's done us a tremendous job tonight of sorting these animals. We appreciate you, Ken. We wish you a safe trip home.
Thank you. All right, nice job. Let's give these senior showmen a big hand. So these 6 on this side are lined up in no particular order. These are going to be our top 4 right here. You can take a breath while I've got my back turned. Everybody here is doing a good job. Like right now, your lamb is pulled just a little bit too far. The front legs need to be straight down, perpendicular to the ground. All right. If they're forward, they're too far forward. All right. It's fine to have the back legs a little bit back. You know, they get a good brace that way. Need to keep the front legs in. Your lamb's legs are kind of floppy jawed here, and you remind me of me. You need to take a deep breath and be calm. Okay? I don't want you to have a heart attack. All right? You are intense. I mean, intense, and that's good. I like the intensity. All right? But it needs to be ratcheted back. Just take a deep breath. Okay? I ask all the exhibitors 2 questions. 2 questions. I ask them what the ideal market weight was for a lamb, and that's a range. There's not one number. A range is good. And I asked them what the average gestation length was. And I got a wide variety of answers. Quite interesting, okay? So anyway, we done a good job. Got 4 on this side, different levels of experience. This is your first year showing lambs. Let's give her a hand. That's pretty impressive. She's in the top 4 as senior. Okay, now you're going to be 4th, but I think that's a heck of a compliment, all right? You do a really, really good job. And she put hard shoes on. You learn, that's good. Smart kids, I like that, okay? Really, really nice job here. The young lady with the grand champion lamb, you're gonna be 3rd, okay? Really good job. Somebody told me later this is your 10th year. Congratulations, give her a big hand. She's had a heck of a night, all right? It's obvious you showed lambs a lot of times. You're really professional, do a really good job. She gets every bit of good out of this lamb that she can. She gets that lamb wound up. You never come up and handle it that she hasn't got a hard, firm brace on that lamb. She does a good job. Her lamb is the hardest of the 4 to show, all right? He's tired. I mean, I'd be tired too. He deserves a break. You know, ice him down later. But, you know, he's had enough, all right? Or she's had enough, excuse me. But you do a heck of a good job. And then we've got the 2 on the other ends, all right, that are dressed similarly. I understand they were fed similarly. They do a really, really nice job, okay? Really, really good job. I'm not going to poke holes at anybody. The one thing I think that separates them, and how tall are you? 6'2"? 6'4"? God, I wish I was 6'4". I always wanted to be 6'4". Any rate, every once in a while, he does something that I really like, and he gets down beside the lamb. And we don't see that very often. Everybody wants to get in front of him and just brace him, all right? And on a ewe, I don't think they always need to be braced. I mean, I just don't think they always do. And not every animal, you can't show, see that, we show cattle, all right? That's what we really do is show cattle. And some people think that every heifer needs to be set up exactly the same way, and that's baloney, all right? You figure out what their strength is and you amplify that. You figure out what their weakness is and you try to diminish or hide that, all right? So they all get showed just a little bit differently, all right? And he does a really good job. I'm sorry, sis, you're going to be reserved tonight, and he's going to be champion. Congratulations.
We're just about ready for awards. Before I shut up, I want to thank this young lady right here behind me, Audrey Windsor. I go to messing up, she'll elbow me or point at something and straighten me out. This job right here is the job on the grounds. Right there is the job is a tough one. She keeps me in line. Let's put our hands together for Audrey. I also want to thank the sheep club leaders tonight. They've done a tremendous job of keeping sheep fed in here for every class. It was tremendous. Randy, thank you. I'd like to ask all sheep club members, please come back into the show arena for the awards.
Thank you very much. If I could get all Sheep Club members to the arena, we're going to take a group photo. And you can't get out of it or I'll come find you. So come on.
Okay, let's get awards started so we can get some pizza. I know Kylie's on her way back, but we're going to go ahead and get these rolling. All right. All right, so we're going to start out. Let's go ahead and recognize our officers. So if Sam Baines was our president this year, if you can come up, Sam. Jalen Goodwin was our vice president. Carly Naylor was our secretary. And Josie Jones, or it's not Josie Jones, that's what it says in the thing, I'm sorry. Josie Baines was our treasurer. So we just have a small little thank you. Hopefully you guys will see it's a little bit personalized for you as an individual. Look over there, guys. All right, thank you very much. All right. All right. All right, so we're going to go into our Shepherd's Award. So our Shepherd's Award, I actually need Kylie because it's written on her thing. Okay, we'll come back to that, sorry. We also have seniors to recognize. So we have one senior who wasn't with us for a full 10 years, but is celebrating her 10th year this year in 4-H. So Reese Oliver, if you can come up, please. And then we have senior members, our 10-year members of the Sheep Club, Braden Bailey, Sam Baines, and Madison Burks. So if you guys can all please come up. All right, we'll have you smile first for Emma. And then if each one of you can tell us a little bit, if you have any word of advice for a younger Sheep Club member. All right, so if you have a word of advice for a younger Sheep Club member, and then also what your future plans are after you finish this year.
Hi, I'm Reese Oliver. My piece of advice would probably say, just put in the work and I promise it'll pay off. And then what I'm going to do after 4-H is I got a direct admit into the Vincent's nursing program.
Hi, I'm Sam Baines, and my advice to a young member is always just keep working, don't ever give up, no matter what you get. And I'm heading to Blackhawk East College on a livestock judging scholarship this August, and then heading to Purdue to become a mechanical engineer.
I'm Brady Bailey, and just be yourself. Really, that's all that matters. And I'm going to Missouri.
I'm Madison Burks, and I would say just keep your head up, and I'm going to cosmetology school.
All right, we really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you very much. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and come back and help us out later. We appreciate you. All right. So we had a new trophy this year. I don't know if anybody had caught it earlier. We kind of thought we were going to pass it out this time, but it got put on the awards table, so we're grateful wherever it is at. But we just want to recognize, so in the Beef Club for years, they've had a traveling Grand and Supreme trophy. And so the Kerr family and Izzy's Rentals were kind enough to donate, not just to the Sheep Club, which is super generous, but to other livestock clubs as well, a traveling trophy. So a huge shout out for them. Okay. So a huge shout out for them, for everybody for this. So it's a fun trophy that you get. And then you pass it back and it goes on to the next member and the next member and the next member, who wins our Grand Champion Market Lamb and our Supreme ewe. So I think they're grabbing it as well, just to look at that as well. So super grateful for them. Thank you very much to the Kerr family and to Izzy's Rentals for doing that, and doing that for both our market and our breeding shows. So thank you very much. There's one of them. Awesome, thank you. All right. All right, so let's jump back to Shepherd's Awards. Didn't have her.
Okay, we're gonna do a quick plot twist real quick. We ask our members to decorate their pins, and we actually allow the Queen's Court to go through and pick their favorite pin decoration for the year. And this year, Alexandria Hall actually won. So if Alexandria wants to come up. She may not still be here, but if you guys haven't had the opportunity to go check out our pin, it's really cute. Definitely matches the greenhouse vibes that they give. So we'll jump into some of the Shepherd's Awards. Brandy just went to grab first year, so I'll go ahead and start with the senior winners. So the Senior Shepherd Award winner this year is Carly Naylor. All right, sorry, we're trying to read Randy's handwriting. Our next Intermediate Shepherd's Award winner is Emma Hacker. Our Junior Shepherd's Award winner this year is Reagan Conrad. And our First Year Shepherd Award winner is Addison Bueller. And then our Mini Shepherd Award winner this year is Alexandria Hall. I don't think she's here. I think she left. We have, it takes a lot of hands to keep everything running throughout the year. It's more than just tonight, as all of you guys know. And we just have a couple of people that always are willing to lend a helping hand, and we just want to give a quick thanks to. Our first thing, and I don't think he's here, is Richard Hall. If you guys ever see him at a club meeting or at a sheep show, he's always willing to step in, always willing to help with the landscaping. So just a huge round of applause for him. Our next big things that we want to give to, she's actually out of the club now. She's graduated out, but she's always willing to help and offer to provide different expertise, is Maddie Bain. She actually redid all of our shepherd's tests this year. You have to come up front again. Our next person we want to thank, again, she's very similar to Richard Hall, Rhea Holler. She is always willing to step in, help provide anything that we need for the club. She's been barn mom, so if you guys got your cup around today, she helps set all of those up and make sure that you guys are well taken care of. Thank you, Mama Rhea. Our last one, I think he stepped out as well, is Kevin Burks. Kevin's always volunteering to announce for the show and help keep the show running. He does a really good job of organizing, keeping us ready to go in the pre-ring. So big hand of applause for Kevin Burks. The reason why we have to hand these next ones out is because I forgot to lay them out on the table during the sheep show. So we just wanted to make sure that our Supreme Champion U and Reserve Supreme U and Grand Champion and Reserve Grand Champion Market Lambs got their banners. So one more time for you guys to get a round of applause. Come get your banners. Amber, get out of the picture. Amber, come here for one. All right, we do have pizza on this side of the show barn. Feel free to go dive in and get you some pizza. Again, thank you guys all. I know it was a hot show day, but thank you all for being ready and getting everything shown.